Describing Scars of Mars as a dungeon crawling RPG is a bit like calling a tank an off-road vehicle. True, very much so, but I think you'd agree it's a bit off the mark. Which is fitting, since one of my greatest fans has never been quite on target. So I'm just gonna roll with it. Scars of Mars is a real-time, without pause RPG with a heavy emphasis on combat. What little story there is told to you via text boxes and no voiceover whatsoever. Not all that surprising, considering the developer's portfolio of mostly visual novels. Fittingly, the game's intro is presented by enemy waifu candidate number 9001. Greetings, Commander. Glad you could make it in time. We seem to have lost communication with one of our top secret research facilities. One of the resident eggheads there managed to launch a distress signal shortly before the connection was lost. Your mission now is to take a team of 4 of our best, go there and recover the scientist and any other survivors you might find. If you also manage to retrieve some of the research conducted there, that'd be mighty fine. Just so you know, the damnable smartasses there were tasked with some sort of bioengineering shenanigans. And now those experiments have apparently taken over the facility. We'll send you some of the data we had already received prior to this incident, so you can properly prepare for some of the, let's call them threats, you'll find there. Don't be surprised by the amount of data, you'll have plenty of time to go through it all multiple times over. You're off to one of our new colonies on Mars, Commander. Good luck. Huh. I just had this odd sense of otherworldliness. Now, where was I? Oh, right. As far as story development goes, that's about all you're gonna get from Scars of Mars. Whoever was in charge of the game's presentation definitely subscribes to the school of minimalism. Enemies are decently modeled and animated, but lack variety. Effects are fine, sometimes pretty, but not exactly novel. Sound is mostly alright, though it can be annoying at times. And music, it's there alright. The game is very much focused on gameplay alone. And that is exactly what got me interested in the game. The unique core gameplay loop. What the game lacks in sight and sound, it makes up for a novelty of concept. At least in part. Battles take place on 2 opposite 3x3 grids. One containing your team, the other containing not your team. Your enemies will target one or more of the squares on your side of the court with their attacks, which you will have to dodge. Or not. Unless you're an incredibly fast clicker or gamepad jockey, buffing and especially healing your team is vital to success here. Debuffing your enemies is also an option. Relatively early on, you are able to unlock some limited usabilities for your runs that you can activate to turn around a run gone awry. In between battles, you'll choose your next destination from a pool of normal and tough battles, events, containers, and shops. Once or twice per level, you'll also find special encounters in the form of safe zones or boss battles. following a run, successful or not, you can upgrade your team's equipment and stats with whatever resources you found. As promising as the battle system seemed at first, I found it to be too hectic for my taste. Moving around my team members to position them away from harm, while at the same time moving them into spots where they can properly hurt enemies, avoiding friendly fire, and positioning my healers so she could keep my team alive, proved to be a bit overwhelming at times. Perhaps I'm to blame here for playing the game with a gamepad rather than a mouse and keyboard. But I'm not discounting that I just suck at it. On the other hand, this game is a Japanese product. And if you know anything about the esports scene, with fighting games like Street Fighter, you'll also know that the average Asian's reaction and actions per minute is about on par with an Energizer Bunny coked out of its mind. Still, a Westerner like me did manage to beat the campaign on normal difficulty, even enjoying myself on occasion. A campaign which only took me about 2 or 3 hours to beat. Once you do so, you unlock a challenge mode. You are sent into the research facility again, now able to gather even better equipment. You lose a lot of the game's safeguards, like safe zones, which normally allow you to either heal or boost your team, or even abandon a bad run, but without losing a big part of your haul in items. In this mode, the signal strength of each destination node is also locked at 1. Meaning your battery drains a lot faster. This battery is what allows your team to move in and out of combat. If it ever runs out, there'll be no dodging those pesky creatures or even finish your run successfully. During my first and only challenge mode attempt, I ran out of power about 3/4 through. This, then, turned into the moment where I decided to not thoroughly review the game, but rather do a first impressions. I wasn't frustrated, yet anyway, but I could clearly apprehend where the game wanted me to go next, and I wasn't willing to follow. This, however, is rarely an issue during a normal campaign run. Scars of Mars might be the game for you if you happen to be faster and more skilled than me. I do believe that the core gameplay loop and grind can be quite motivating, as it was what made me take a closer look to begin with. There's some variety in loot, upgrades and builds, as well as formations for your team that make them significantly stronger. Challenge mode seems to offer content for at least some more hours to explore that variety, too. However, if you're looking for a more relaxed experience or for more than a skeleton of a story, I can't recommend Scars of Mars. Or as I like to say, it has a lot of potential, but potential is not what you're gonna play. Which about sums up this first impressions video. I'd very much appreciate it if you left a comment down below about either the video itself or Scars of Mars. Maybe even suggest a game for review or first impressions. I will definitely take it into consideration. And since you're still watching, I'm hoping that means you found the video worthwhile enough. So my hats off to you, good sir or madam.